Big smiles all around. Welcome back to Wacky Wednesday here on Call to the Pen. Yeah, you only taking flack when you're over the target. Talk about over the target. Holy moly, man. How great was that Daily K? I'm telling you, that is the most fun game on the market. The pricing making it a lot of fun. Brian Rose, what's up? Yeah, how about that, baby? 150 to 1. Is there a more realistic shot at 100 to 1 or better? Quite literally anyway, right? Come on, we know what we're getting here. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Yeah, a little bit of tongue-in-cheek on the big show, fastest show in MLB. Absolutely freaking anywhere. Obviously, with me. Who am I? The goddamn sugar. At John Laghezza on the Bird app, the X app, the Black app. Who gives a crap app? Although my blue check is uploading. It'll help me sell some football rank packages, I'm sure. You know, they have the thumb on the scale if you have the check mark. Brian Rose, OPMG. What is going on, everybody? Yeah, man, that was incredible. What a fun time. All kidding aside, right? You roll with us on the Daily K markets because we are all over those. We put up 5 plays. We had 3 nines. They were all about 18 to 1 or better. Even Jay Bird was doing the right thing by the time he tweeted out. He put the live line. 85 to 1 on them on. We got buck 50. Woo! Let's go get it. Mixed slate today. So it's actually a bit easier for me. We're going to start with the PM stuff. Commuter crowd, always in mind. Then we'll swing back around. How about let's get some parlays? Jay, I really hope you have those under strikeout props. I meant to ask you because I have a new love in my life, and it's those. I think, you know, I'm like a data file, right? Follow me on Twitter. The pin tweet or whatever will take you to the Sharpener app. You can follow along with all this advanced stuff. Keeping it as cheap as could be. I think they're using, I don't even know, overall K stuff where disciplinary stats, strikeouts, walks, and stuff like that are generally the fastest to stabilize. And you could follow them in waves on all the rolling graphs, moving averages, waka, waka, waka. And I mean, ridiculously good spots. They're not up on BetStamp right now. We'll pump that app in a little bit as we show off why it's so damn useful. But follow my stuff. I think we're going to do really well. Before I put anything out live for subs, I'm back testing on my own. And I was just making money blind on these things. I'm telling you, like really, really, really big odds. Gosh, Gritchuck is at $150 today. Brandon Lau is at plus 200. And you think again, so what? Maybe they use a career K. He's not striking out right now. You're getting a guy with, you know, some 15% strikeout rate last 30 days or something like that at plus 200 to not strike out. You take those as many as you can. Brian Gabriel, what's going on? Let's dive into it. Fastest show at MLB absolutely anywhere. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Feel free to tag Rob Pizzola. Let him know what kind of good job we're doing. Right? Bosses love to hear that kind of stuff. Again, Call to the Pen, redheaded stepchild of the Hammer Betting Network. Yeah, Call to the Pen says, I was sweating Cobb. Yeah, I was sweating like a hickory smoked ham yesterday. How about, come on, that was just incredible. Herman had already hung the 9. Abbott flew out to a hot start. He kind of petered out at 9. I think he threw about 147 pitches. All kidding aside, Abbott got through a batter with 9 Ks over 103 pitches. And he stayed in. He capped out over 110. Didn't get it. Cobb comes out flying. He ends up at 9. But Herman holding on. That was really awesome. What a fun time. All right, let's start it up. And I think these are 6:40. Okay, this one is 6:05, right? So commuter crowd starts at 6 o'clock. There are games just all day. We'll swing back around and get some action. Jackson. try to be a bit more liberal with my plays when they match analysis. I could be too cute, let's say. It's Kyle Horse Bradish on the bump for the Blackbirds and Orange Vest, those pesky Orioles on the road in Philadelphia against Power Ranger Suarez and those fighting Phils. You know me, I'm a Bradish guy. Let's not bury the lead, Jay. Give me the F5 for sure. I saw it at plus money. I wonder if I thumbed the scale of that one. I knew I was jumping on that one early. Again, I don't know if it's my vision. Thank you so much. I was like, oh man, I had no shot at seeing that bad boy. So let's take Baltimore at the best price through F5. Let's get through it. 305 ERA, 113 whip, 646 OPS for Bradish. Just looking really good. The control metrics are all in place. 6% walk rate. That's the stuff we love. But the CSW is still above 28. The zone contact is a bit higher than I thought now that I look at it 89, but he's keeping the ball down 45% of the time. And again, he's on fire as of late. I like to look at the season in chunks of 400 pitches or so. Again, it's like an Eno thing. He proved some stabilization to stuff there. But I kind of like it. It's like, I don't know, what's 4, 5 starts, 6 starts? So it's like a month. Right? Remember, pitching trajectories change much faster than hitter trajectories, right? New pitch. All of a sudden, it's like a new guy, right? New arm angles and velocity and mechanics. Spot on the rubber even we're seeing now that we're talking about that on rates and barrels. So again, it's not to overreact to small stuff. It's to keep the small sample in mind in comparison to the larger stuff, right? Because I had kind of the idea of the whole moving averages thing that, like, I've had this argument with some quant guys as they always trying to disprove hot, right? There's no such thing as a hot hitter, and they've done all these kind of, again, the math is correct. I'm not trying to say the math's wrong. All these kind of unique approaches to showing it, but to me, they're defining it improperly, and it doesn't answer my thing. Like, they're always saying, like, well, if you look back at production, for me, that's why we think of things in terms of waves. So again, a little bit of a tangent today, but this is good stuff. So a few lesser games, take a few minutes to sink our teeth into what kind of separates us here from the pack. Aside from, hopefully, handsome devils, spurting analytics, nuance, and context, pouring out your damn nose. I think I just derailed myself also. Maybe it's for the best. Anyway, Bradish has been really damn good, especially as of late. Oh, I'm sorry. I remember the hot thing just really quick. Let's say a player is, let's say whatever your number for hot is, 850 OPS, 900 OPS, whatever hot is, whatever you define it as. That's like saying, well, if you look back last 7 and it matched that number, that's not predictive of it happening in the future. And now that's what they've proven to not be true. And again, I don't think that's the case. For me, when you think about things in terms of waves, you could look back at a very good L7, L14, L30 at 900 OPS, let's say, but get indications of degradation. And I think that's the difference between looking at waves and how they work in comparison than just kind of taking a static L7, So again, hopefully thumb in the eye of the quant people out there. Hopefully a big W for us regular stupids. All right, so Kyle Bradish, really, really good. Ranger Suarez has been good as well. Bit more up and down from him, and right, he's a real wave guy also. He gave us a phenomenal month, and now it's not so much. I think people are kind of chasing it. Hopefully that was a nice little feather in the cap for everybody. Suarez now putting up more of the Jag stuff. 4 ERA, but a 1.4 whip. Remember, also, I did some correlative stuff at the Athletic. In-season whip is correlative to ERA in season. You got to keep guys off base this season. The stolen bases are up. BABIP is up. Batting averages are up. Suarez, it's been a control thing. The ball rate up above 38%, 58 first strike. So, just not getting ahead, not putting the ball in the zone, and then pairing it with 90% zone contact. So, generally, when you see pitchers that fall behind and then have high zone contact rates, it's a lot of missing because they get forced into the zone of bad counts. So, he has kept the ball down. That's been the saving grace. But really not great at home. He struggled against righties. Righties batting .285. And he's a 5.5 ERA at home. So give me Baltimore through 5 at plus money. Love that one. Like, love that one. If I had like one mega whale smash lock of the century, for the day. Right? 30,000 Vegas Dave units with, pink handbags or whatever. I don't know. That would be it. Next up, it's the Halos. Patrick Sandoval. -115, slight favorite on the road in Detroit Rock City, going to 8 Mile to face the Tigres and Michael Lorenzen, who's been very, very good, at -110. Surprised to see such even pricing. I have Lorenzen significantly better than Sandoval. And it's funny, we remember we had talked about the Tigers hitting lefties earlier on, but I guess it's more a LA offense thing. Jay, this is one of the more liberal ones. And let's go with the Tigers. Right, we're getting an F5, right, minus 110, minus 115. Again, I might be tinted a little too hard today, and I can't see. And also, I'm not going to try. I can't be punishing people with me squinting. It's like it's painful if I ever watch back to see me squinting into the camera. It's because I want the show to be good, right? All my flaws pretty much center around that. Yeah, I've got it pretty much by a nose with the offense. So let's look at it. Sandoval it's been a struggle, man. He's putting way too many guys on base. 1-4 whip, plus 5K minus walk ERA, nearly 5 Sierra, 19 walk to 19K to 9.5 walk, right? That single digit K minus walk should always be a red flag. Ball rate over 37. Anytime it's over 36, also a red flag. He has kept the ball down and kept it in the yard. But that's about it. He's been pretty good on the road, but surviving out home runs. Regress the XFIP. Use XFIP regressing home run to fly ball is what I mean to say. And get back on track. I've liked what Lorenzen's done. 3.5 ERA, 109 whip, because he's not walking anyway. That's always been so clutch. How about that when you got a walk prop for Lorenzen, Jay? Sometimes those get posted. You get under 1.5 walks. Again, my lesson here, whether or not the price matches and we take the play, everyone, is open the third eye. Something that I think I've had to learn this year, as it's not just that markets have gotten sharper in the general stuff, which they have. Books are more predatory, pulling things, playing with lines, all the stuff we mentioned all the time. So why keep smashing your head against the wall when you could find edge with the same analysis and better pricing? So, man, 130, that's right on the borderline for me. All right, let's do it. He's been really good. LA has taken their walks, but the strikeout stuff for LA is just atrocious. 27% K, 15.5 swing and strike, 79 in zone contact, less 500 plate appearances. So give me the race to 15, Lorenzen. Hopefully we just get just enough off Sandoval. Again, he's walking tons of guys. Detroit's been at least decent against lefties, though. Last 500 Ps, they have not been any good ground ball machines, the whole nine. Brian Rose says, Lorenzen, that walk prop was minus 115 on DK earlier. There we go, right? Early bird gets the worm, BR. That's what it's all about. That's always so big. Fire Sports has dropped a like. Thank you so much, man. Fire Sports, one of us. Welcome to Sparta, everybody, right? We are few, but we're freaking ferocious. Right, there's no question. There is zero question about that. So give me the Tigers. Give me the under Lorenzo prop. Let's move it forward. It's the Mets and the Yankees. I just never cared less about a Subway Series ever. Maybe just lost its shine. I just tend to hate the Yankees right now. Rodon, I think that's what it is. Everyone knows I do some pretty detailed fantasy work in the offseason. If you didn't get along with it, look for it next year. It really is my favorite thing that I do all year. And baby, if I had a piece of content, that was my baby, right? And man, I loved Rodon. He was just so great. And then coming to the Yankees, and I thought he'd be so great for us, and he couldn't get healthy. Now he's been terrible. And it doesn't mean he'll continue to be terrible. The books actually don't think they will be. Rodon and Yankees, minus 155 favorites at home against the Mets. Jay, the bet that I had here that ranked for me was the Mets F5 team total. Do you have that? I know sometimes those are sprinkled depending on the book. But the Mets first 5 team total was at 1.5 near like regular money, meaning 125 or so, minus 125. And again, Rodon, it's hard to go against a trend. If he corrects and he looks like an ace, then you know what you got. But until then, you almost assume he's broken. Through 14 2/3, it's a 7.35 ERA, 1.4 whip. Oh my goodness, Sierra up near 6. 3% K minus walk, 40% ball rate, 54 first strike, 29 O swing. Rodon not getting ahead, not fooling anybody, missing everywhere. I mean, 11 barrel, 49 hard hit, and it's only been a fourth of a home run per 9, right? 0.4 home run 9 is not going to stay if you keep giving up that kind of contact. Other side, Quintana's look good so far. It's only was 5 innings, but everything you're kind of looking for, right? He didn't walk anybody. I think that's number one. The ball rate at 31%. That's another really good one. What's the Quintana walk rate look? What's that look like, Jay? If we get Quintana under walks also. Because again, right, coming off the IL, I don't think we'll get a lot of stretch out of him. Right, he's not going to do the Andrew Abbott 137 pitch thing. So let's get that also. I like the control props on guys that show the excellent ball rate. Yankees again walking, but they're chasing, missing in the zone. They've been downright terrible. Yankees suck. 221 team batting average, 89 WRC plus for the Yanks last 500 plate appearances. Not to be outdone by the Mets, who stink and are terrible against lefties. Bottom 5 WOBA and ex-WOBA last 30 versus lefties. 668 OPS. I mean, it's just really bad in New York right now. New York baseball kind of stinks. Fire Sports says Alvarez Prob out today. Yeah, he might be Prob out today. I think he's definitely out for indefinitely. Those comments were not encouraging when they were saying that they were really worried. Fire Sports Yanks to bounce back, one each. Not to say again, I never think I'm right and you're wrong. I never ever think that. If anything, I think I'm wrong. Because of Rodon, it is the F5 at 4.5. I'd probably be more apt to go in that direction. Because you're saying that you have faith in the Yankees, then to outscore the Mets through 5. But do you think Rodon is like slamming the door? So if not, if you get a regular over, I would tend to go that way. Cubby Noel, what's up? Coffee and Big John, good morning. Oh, be careful, doubling up those two. coming out the chair. Loving the incorporation of the fantasy space. We lose a lot of little giddy up. We change times at the halfway mark, the All-Star break, people moving over to football. But the fantasy crowd always has such a thirst for baseball, and I think slowly they're realizing there's a overlap, especially, at least hopefully for me, bringing fantasy and betting together, kind of amalgamating the two, where if you're into fantasy and you really care, you should be following this shit. You know what I'm saying? So Mets and Yankees, I'm on the fade. I'd probably go over for anything because they both suck really bad. Both bullpens have been terrible also. Mets bullpen in particular, 35 2/3. That's a 5.3 ERA, 1.65 whip. I don't know what's going on. It's so bad in New York. Let's just go next up. This one, I'm going against. It's not a hard and fast rule. Jay, bring up the F5 totals for the next one. This one should be a good one. Braves and Bostonian, those Red Soxers. Spencer Strider on the bump, minus 165 favorite against Red Laundry from somewhere in the northeast quadrant, from what I understand. Strider's been excellent. 3.78 ERA, 109 whip, but do not be fooled. His indicators are ridiculously good. Expected ERA at 3 on the nose. Sierra at 2.55, 143 stuff plus on the fast pull. Oh my gosh, 40% K rate to only 7% walk, a 32.4 K minus BB. Like, stop and think about that. 32% K would be ridiculous. 32K minus BB, 20 swing and strike, 34.5 CFW, 40.5 whip rate. This guy is the goddamn GOAT. He is unbelievably good. This is your, number one guy all the way. Don't listen to anybody. He suffered from some hard contact and some bad BABIP. 330 BABIP is going to regress for a guy this good. On the other side, it's Brian Bellissimo for the Red Sox. 3.6 ERA, 1.22 whip. That's really correct, and he struggled to start. The K rate a bit lower than I think people want to see, but when you got the walk rate down, it lets you be efficient and get the 6 innings. Just short of the bully metric, but he does get ahead. He has induced chases. He's won in the zone, keeping the ball down 56% of the time. Man, I love me some Bayo, one of my favorite kind of late picks this year in fantasy. We've done really well in fantasy. I'm hoping to shut the door. I'm in 4 main event qualifiers, which again, real quick, we don't have a sponsor with NFPC. We should speak to them. Derek, let me know if you're listening. One of my favorite contests to get, I don't want to call them not outsiders or newbies, just people that are unfamiliar with the 15-team NFPC structure that's kind of taking over, right? I mean, listen, it's God's game when it comes to baseball. I get it. I was a point leaguer, and now I've learned. Man, for the people out there that are like, oh, it's high stakes and it's intimidating. Yeah, it is. They have $125 qualifying. Man, 6 months every day, $125 is really, really, it's reasonable. And you could split it. So now you're talking about a couple dollars a week. It's winner take all. The winner gets a seat in the main event. Now, I could afford a main event seat, but I feel like I'm minus EV against the best players in the world. I figured, let me win my way in as I figure out the beautiful game, right? The sweet science. And I'm kind of killing it, I got one team with 132 SGP. Like, we're doing really good. Just got to land the plane. And all three of them are in competition to win. They're all three are in competition to win. And another one has a legit chance to win. I just have to, I got to close out. It's going to be about ads and management and stuff. So again, betting and fantasy, these things work together. Why are we so in depth at betting, understanding the market? Like when I tell you, like we have to open up our third eye and look across the menu. You need to understand the game to do that, right? Where that's where you get the teeth sucking from the old guard, because while they're willing to bet CLV on soft markets, you can't do that on hard markets, right? They're willing to bet CLV on general markets. You can't do that in the soft stuff. Like props, once we come in and start smashing Domingo Herman at 150 to 1, a little bit later it's 85 to 1. You got to know what you're talking about to identify 150 to 1 odds that bring home the bacon. So bing, bang, boom. Bring up that first five. Actually under, right? So I buried the lead, actually, when I said I did something I don't usually do. The F5 was at 5, right, Jay? Because of the offenses, right? Or assumed offenses. Man, I can't freaking see it, dude. I can't see it. And the highlighting makes it even worse, The cursor makes it worse because it changes the color. Do I see it? No, I thought I saw it under 5.5. Sorry, I'm going to have to do something about this. Let's go under the 5 at the best price that we can. I'm so far under here. Again, whatever. Today's all about lessons and short days. I love to do. We haven't done this in a bit. The more cerebral edition of Call to the Pen. And it has to do with betting the model. So yes, like I mentioned it before, it's only $20 for us this season. Like if you want to learn how to do this stuff, again, I think for fantasy, there's a lot of value in it. If you're looking to close out a big money league, this is worth it. Understanding how these things work and to find kind of these outliers. Man, I gotta jump on this. I know I've been saying, right, we don't want to under on the Braves. This one's at 5. I have it modeled at 3-7. I've got less than 7 runs through 9. Like I just can't not bet this stuff. Because it's all range of outcomes. I generally talk about it, the model betting is more of a cannon blast than a sniper rifle. Right, so to get you to the area, you then have to decide weighing. That's where the price comes in. Right, you weigh the angle of the cannon, how likely you are to get it based on the price. Our boy Maddie does a phenomenal job with that stuff and translating these things. And you know what, Jay? Remind me. I have a really helpful link we should put in the description. And it's like a betting calculator, but it's an awesome one. I think it's a Yahoo betting calculator, and it has all the translations, even for our international friends that use that decimal system. It has every decimal to percentage to American odds to implied probability plus payout, all in one spot. You can just change everything, and it's really, really helpful. Again, I'm not as smart as it may sound sometimes. I have good tools, and I know how to use them. Remember, I was an electrician in another lifetime. And that's the key, right? The best electricians are smart, but they have the best tools and know how to use them when I'm dying. And well, I wish I would have figured out that last part without breaking my back. Well, anyway, so let's stay under because the model is screaming. And that's what I wanted to really put the bow on is when it's screaming, you get rid of the priors, right? The Braves can struggle on offense. So can anybody. Granted, this one will probably go over in the first inning. But let's right now look at the Braves. 232 team batting average. 232. Last 500 plate appearances. Human. 42% ground ball, 16% line drive, 38 pull. These are not very good. Yeah, they hit it hard. They had the barrels. But a 106 WRC plus just okay. Boston rocking and rolling. Really interesting profile. Because it's so devoid of power right now. A 35% fly ball rate as a team, 34 hard hit, 6% barrel. Right? Power metrics terrible. 129 WRC plus. It's doubles, it's run score, the stealing player, props, and bomb. It's up, Jake Bird. Man, I tell you, restaurants where the chefs eat, I just bring the goats in. Nothing makes me more proud of my work than having people much better at this than I am. Jump on. Make sure you're following Player Prop Savant on Twitter. His show with Stewie is really, really good, especially with the stuff outside of baseball. Right, one of the few shows I'll watch when they're talking about basketball and stuff like that, and it actually convinced me to bet some stuff. Super sharp dudes over there. And we should try and link up again one more time for the summer ends, guys. All right, let's get through it again. So I'm under on Atlanta and Boston through 5. Next up, Andrew Heaney and the Walker Texas Rangers plus 145 dog on the road against my boy Framber Valdez, minus 180 favorite, and the Houston Astros. Heaney, I mean, listen, it's exactly what you thought. 4.6 ERA, 1.35 whip. What did you think? 10% walk rate, 38% ball rate, right? 43 fly ball, 11% barrel. You know, he's very lucky the home run rate has been so low. I'm just never buying what Heaney's saying, like ever. Last 400 pitches, the ERA up near 6. He's probably going to get feasted on. I think Houston's been killing lefties as well. Yes, they have. Houston top 5 in WOBA and expected WOBA. That 334 expected WOBA versus lefties very strong last 30. They're really looking good. They're starting to elevate. They're starting to pull, hitting the ball hard. Houston Astros getting up off the mat, and they're about to get Jordan Alvarez back and Jose Altuve back. Get ready for the, Astros push. And again, I hate the Astros also, right? As a Yankee fan, and they're... Brian Rose, catch you later. Thanks so much for taking your time out of your day. Again, all the characters hanging out in Sparta with us. Right, without you, there's no us. We really do appreciate you. Rate, review, and subscribe. All that good stuff, because it matters more than it should. Press the finger, press the bell. Just jam your cartoon finger right up inside me. Plenty of room there. So I think I got to like Houston, but it's been really tough to go up against the Texas Rangers, another one of those offenses that, check it out. And I think I'm just going to leave this one because of the juice. I was hoping the Texas jersey would have brought the price down a little bit, and it really didn't. Again, 180 for Valdez, who, again, I had pegged as a Cy Young candidate who looks phenomenal. But Texas offense, let's just take a look. And where this is one of the points where, again, right, I mentioned analysis could lead you to buck the soft rule, but then the pricing is the final determinant, right? Feather in the cap. Ding. Texas offense, 347 OBP, 806 OPS, last 500 PAs, 11% walk rate, 89 zone contact, 45 fly ball, 10% barrel. Like, just think about it. I know we stat sometimes, but it's how you add these things together. So they're taking walks, they're working pitchers, make a high amount of contact, but the barrel rate is based on batted ball events. So if you're Miguel Sano and have a 60% contact rate, it doesn't matter if you have a 100% barrel rate. You don't put the stick on the ball. Put 89 zone contact as a team with double-digit barrel, 40 some odd fly ball. These are the underpinnings of power. So again, we rambled a lot for a no bet, but it will be interesting to see the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Valdez has just been incredible. The one thing I wanted to point out with him, people knocking him, didn't think he had strikeout stuff. That was the reason I was on him. 27% K to only 6 walk, 28% whiff, 15.5 foul to go with the 54% ground ball rate. Love Valdez. You can back him any time of day, any day of the week. Next up, Civil War in Chicago. Marcus Stroman and the Baby Bears minus 120 dogs on the road, crossing the tracks and going to the south side to face the Pale Hose and my boy Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn, talk about monster. Positive regression candidate. But it's if. No, we appreciate you. Monster regression candidate. If you're into the old school stuff, I'll take a look at Stroman first. He's been excellent. 309 ERA, 114 whip, 586 OPS. Remember, whip this year. Expected ERA below 4. We know the strikeout stuff's not going to be great. So that's ignore it. The ball rate is a little bit higher than I thought. We see that manifested in the 9% walk rate. You don't expect 38% ball from him. But the miss rate I do like to use, that's at center box on Savant, is one of the best in the game, below 6%. He does not miss. So the zone contact leads to 58% ground ball, 4% barrel, right? You see, again, stat, and how they add up in different ways. He's also been ridiculously good on the road, 638 OPS, 311 ERA, third of a homer 9 on the road. Chicago White Sox offense, they stink. Who remembers that one? Jay Sherman, it stinks. 288 OPP, a 666 OPS. I'm the leprechaun. 5% walk rate, 39.5 chase for the White Sox. As a team of 500 plate appearances, 39.5% chase rate. Just absurd. 269 by 81 WRC plus. The White Sox stink right now. Worst ground ball lineup. Yeah, I mean, dude, Cubby Knoll really sharp again. The fantasy people know the deal. What we need. Well, hopefully we'll get next year. We need ground ball props. We need ground ball props. We're over on the ground ball prop for Stroman. We're over on the ground ball prop for Valdez. Other side, Lance Lynn. Okay, check it out. 6.18 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. Here's here's the thing, and this is again why I hope we kind of get this overlap of the Venn diagram, betting props, DFS fantasy, like the Olympic circle. Again, screaming positive regression. If you're on, I'm sorry, what we're calling like the old guard indicators, right? So you could be on Fangraphs and saying, well, I see XFIP, K minus walk ERA, and Sierra all below 4. I mean, almost 2.5 runs lower than ERA, screaming for positive regression. However, I tested these things in season. They're extremely weak. XFIP being the strongest at 0.6, which is just okay. Expected ERA tested way better. I mean, up above 0.8. Remember, WHIP above almost near 0.9 on WHIP. WHIP 144, expected ERA at 4.8. And this is like the sticking point in analysis and the sticking point forward-looking pitching projections. Because you have such a stark difference in approach. There are people that are just using expected ERA, which, by the way, is like supposed to be a literal translation of expected WOBA, although, believe it or not, it tests out a lot better than xWOBA. xWOBA was like 0.71, which is much higher than anything else. But expected ERA tacked on a significant more correlation, I should say. So I was kind of stepping into the rake for automatic positive regression expected for Lynn. Then I think I got to keep going. The Discovery basket looks good, man. 27.5K to 8 walk. I mean, that's not really a 6 ERA, 8% walk. 19K minus BB, 14 swing and strike, 31 whiff, 67 first strike, 79.5 in zone contact. That's extremely good. Cubby no last when I see tested at 0.6. I did set the Athletic. I did in-season correlation to earned run average, which again is not like the greatest thing ever, but because of all the rule changes we had, I was curious to see how the pack responded. Right, remember, they're all regressing kind of different things, but we've had 5-year highs in BA, 5-year highs in BABIP. We now have a home run to fly ball rate higher for the year that was higher than the highest month last year. Isolated, and we're not even into August yet. So I was just curious to see how these things looked, and that's why again I haven't thrown them out the window, and that's why I want to make sure I'm not like this is the only way. But I think it is important when we see this kind of sea change or paradigm shift within the market, just to make sure that we're seeing what's going on. That this stuff, we never want to get to I don't know if you're familiar with the term, anybody, giggle, right? We never want to get to a garbage in, garbage out scenario. Wow, feather in the cap. I mean, hopefully you come here and, leave at least learning one thing every day. That's the best compliment you can get. If you agree, comment, rate, review, subscribe, all that other stuff. Let's do one more quick one. It's not listed yet, but I've got Hollywood, Hogan, Harris, and the Elephants balancing on beach balls. Those pesky A's on the road against Los Gigantes and Alex Wood. Jay, is this one up yet? I don't think so. The A's like to play games with their starters. I'm telling you right now, if Hogan's Heroes Harris is on the bump. Oh, is it listed? All right, we want the F5. Remember, Jay, Jay, do not upset me on air. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen, people say you can't bet the A's. We've been betting the A's all season. You could bet the A's first 5 team total, whatever you want. You could bet the A's first 5 when Blackburn or Sears on the bump, maybe even Hogan Heroes against Alex Wood. So can we get plus money on the run line? That's what we're looking for. It's listed at PointsBet right now. That's like my favorite bet in all of baseball. Again, if you're unfamiliar, meaning we're getting a half a run through 5 innings, so we can cash the bet on a tie, and we're getting even money to do so. I think we have the edge. I think Wood's been terrible. 5 ERA, 1.55 WHIP. Harris, no picnic either, though he's been a little bit better of late. Maybe I should have pumped the brakes on the. I mean, I have Oakland ahead, but I generally don't bet a team I have giving up more than 2 runs also. So I'm also on the over So I would even combine those two. OPMG says Oak F5TT over 1.5 minus 115. You know what's funny? That might be a sharper play than the run line. Jay, if we didn't lock in the run line, don't. Cowardly lion. I am the cowardly lion. Because it's not Sears, it's not Blackburn. So let's be sharp. Thank you, OPMG. Capo status achieved. If you're wondering what all this fancy stuff going on is, Jay's walking us through betstamp.app. We always like to take a few seconds. Jay, tell them about the app, will you?
Yeah, for sure I will, John. I just want to let everyone know about BetStamp here. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to use multiple sports books, and we recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp, like you see on the screen here. BetStamp just simply compares odds across all betting platforms, including games, player props, futures, and a lot more. Save time and money betting through BetStamp today. And if you want to support the show, make sure you look at the link on the screen and head over to that link, betstamp.app/call to the pen. Check out the pinned comment or the link in the description. You head over there and it will help. It'll give you a bunch of books to sign up for. If you haven't signed up for them, you should sign up for them because having multiple sports books simply helps you improve as a sports bettor. So if you haven't signed up for some more books, guys, make sure you use this link because it just simply helps support the show.
All right, thank you so much, Jay. Mr. Cooper hanging with us on the ones and twos. Hardest working producer in the game. I'm telling you, he is constantly making sure that we are on track. I know, it seems like I'm a one-man band, but I got a little help from my friends. Love you, Jay. All right, let's circle back. Let's put together a little parlay for the early stuff without being too wild. We've actually done really well with these, believe it or not. Okay, a couple that we like. I'll tell you right off the bat, because there are a bunch. Zach Gallen's on the bump. Let's get Arizona money line, right? Let's lock up the stuff that we like right off the bat. Then I'll ramble through another one or two, depending on the price. I'm thinking maybe 4. So definitely Gallen. He's got Flaherty. Cardinals' offense has been good, but again, Diamondbacks and Gallen is okay to back. That's where we want to be. I like the Brewers and Peralta also against the Reds and Lively. Looks like that one as well. Man, the one you know what I want? I want to price shop this next one. Kansas City, Cleveland. I was over. I didn't get it yesterday. I have it over again. Can we get it at 9.5 or is it a straight 10? If you can get the 9.5 anywhere, pay the juice for that. That's what we want. Yeah. Hit. And then, man, one more. Well, if we get one more that I like this. There's games that I like, but they're totals. Let's go to the videotape in the algo. Again, I don't want to be that person that just leans on their own proprietary stuff. I print it. Again, with a lot of the data that builds it. So you can kind of see exactly, like you could basically reverse engineer a lot of the stuff. And I keep it open for that. These should not be too complicated. A good model shouldn't give you crazy outputs. It should make you money over time. So I guess when I'm way under, even at 7.5, I'm under Miami and Tampa. Controverse Eflin. I know people sucking their teeth without Contra, but a lot of the underlying stuff still looks pretty good. I think I've gotten wasted away backing him. Although now we're not necessarily doing that, right? If Eflin shuts out the Marlins, we could get away with this one at 6-0, even if Alcantara gets smoked. If not, man, it's Miller, but he's got Joe Ryan. The Mariners and Twin series right now is excellent. Like, it's probably one of the best watches. The Padres have the Pirates, Lugo v. Oviedo, but it's juiced to the gills. Toronto and the Dodgers. The Dodgers had a big win for me in Survivor last night coming back. But I really can't back Gonsolin. I wonder if maybe our answer, Jay, instead of going under and tempting the Miami one, if we didn't lock it in, is to go with the Jays and the run line. Maybe we should do that. Take the Jays +1, because I'm not really a big Gonsolin fan. And I'd rather not. I keep stepping on the rake with Alcantara. Again, he just could be that guy this year. Just in case you wonder, because I know there are people that are LOLing Alcantara like crazy. But 7% walk rate, 12.5 swing and strike, ball rate below 32, 37 O swing, 51 ground ball, 6% barrel, 3% blast. That Sandy Alcantara just feels like normal. The BABIP is at 300, and he's just kind of been punished because he's not striking guys out. But I'm going to avoid it because he keeps getting us in trouble. So let's stick with the Bluebirds because that one did kind of stick out on the algo. Jay and I were talking about this. I have the Blue Jays projected to win, though it's extremely close. So then you can understand that or read that, right? I mentioned model reading as a one-run loss. Let's do the Jays then. I like that one. So even if they lose, we get the 1 run. That brings us to like plus 720. I really like that. I'm going to hit that one myself. A nice little afternoon parlay. So it's Toronto with the run line, Milwaukee to win, Arizona to win, Kansas City and Cleveland. Look for that 9.5 though. I do think this one has a potential to completely blow up. Again, it stayed under yesterday. Kansas City didn't get it done for us late. That will do it, everybody. Thank you so much, man. Every single day, it's such a mission. This show, KC and Cleveland's over, my good friend. Man, thank you all so much. Again, taking your time as we move the show. I know that could be a pain in the butt. We lost a little bit of steam in the Spartan chat room, but the little bit we got, man, it's fire. And it's still plus EV. I love the fact that we get people capping stuff, looking forward, looking to build off the bets, bringing up where ladders make sense. Because that's a fact. Again, another reason why betting takes a community. And it's too bad sometimes because there's so much negative competition. Either way, competition can be healthy, but sometimes, the social media stuff gets so negative where we're really working together against the book. And us being divisive, it doesn't help. And that's why, you'll never find that in my stuff. Even if you're following, I'm not going to call any names. Any of the, ongoing Twitter spouts. I literally have nothing to do with any of it. I am friendly with everybody. I try and actually DM squash stuff if I can, though these are grown men and women, and I don't care to get involved with personal stuff again. But for me, it's just about picking the brains, making the money. Rate, review, and subscribe. All that great stuff. Again, thank you, Jay. Let's get out of here, I guess. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. If you want the baseball data, the football data, I started dropping NFL team previews, just quick, I'm going to do a quick 10 or 15 minute hit every day or every other day. Once I hit my groove with the template, they'll probably take off. Again, it's a really great way for me to get prepped, but also to get you some of the deeper stuff that we get into, changes and theory and stuff. Because, again, as much as we love baseball, we got to have at least one, that third eye, at least a bit of it on football. So, all right, we're out of here this time. Appreciate you all. Check you tomorrow. Same time, 9:30. And remember, when you work this hard, there's a lot less alcohol. Peace.